Well, haven't posted a video in a while because I've been super sick. But something I've been thinking a lot about was something I've been seeing on Twitter a lot, which is discourse between like people basically trying to turn games or other things like shows into their territory, if that makes sense. What I'm talking about is things like, maybe a leftist might be like, well, this game here, this game is how are you even a fan of this? Don't you know this supports my ideas? And while, I don't see it as often, uh, you know, right-leaning people might also go, well, this supports this or that. So how are you a fan of it? And basically, I kind of think it's weird because, you'd think that instead of fighting over territory, basically, maybe it'd make more sense to maybe see that, these people you hate for whatever reason like something you like. And, to me, that feels like an opportunity, honestly. Feels like an opportunity to go, well, maybe I hate you too much. Maybe we're more alike than I thought. But, I see this argument instead that I see a lot of people do. You see, it's kind of pointless. And I am right leaning, but, I do see it as kind of pointless because I would rather us, bond over our shared interest instead of squabble pointlessly over whose ideas it supports. Um, and basically, it hit me. It didn't hit me for a while. I used to just look at this and not really think much of it, but I was thinking it really hit me after I was talking with a friend about Lisa the Painful. And I know Austin Jorgensen is like, really lefty and stuff and hates being white or whatever. But I was talking with a friend about Lisa, and he's a slightly more left leaning friend. So I was talking about, well, I don't get how Lisa has so many gay fans. I mean, it basically shows, you know, sexual sexual deviancy as a result of missing women, and it doesn't show it as a good thing or whatever. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something along those lines, right? And then, he told me something like, well, Lisa shows how important women are, and that's like a progressive thing or whatever. And, to that, I might say in return, well, I think that emphasizes the differences in men and women in a way that aligns with more traditional thinking or whatever. But you see, my point is that I can at least understand where he comes from now. Like, I can understand why someone who disagrees with me in certain ways would be a fan. And while I was already friends with that guy, I wasn't hating him. I feel like people were missing out by trying to fight instead of try to understand each other through things that we already both like. Like one thing I see a lot is Sonic. A lot of people argue about Sonic the Hedgehog, right? They're like, "Oh, well, Sonic's against deforestation or whatever, so he's pretty much a super leftist." And I don't think I think they're really reaching with that, but but it's not like there's not, if I wanted to stretch, I could say things like, "Oh, well, Knuckles let some people onto his island and now they're taking over everything, so maybe he's right to be isolationist or whatever, Maybe I could, if I wanted to be disingenuous, maybe I could go for that. Not that it's completely unfounded or anything, but you know what I mean. It's like I can still understand why someone would like something, for different reasons, even if they don't agree with me in life or whatever, right? So, there's something else that, with so little that's new, I see a lot of people say, oh, well, how can you be a right wing Undertale fan? And I'm not an Undertale fan, but if you ask me, if you say, oh, how are you a right wing Undertale fan or a right wing Digital Circus fan? To me, I wouldn't call myself a fan of those things, but if you ask me, just like new IPs and like new ideas for anything are just so rare nowadays. So much of what we have now is just regurgitated IPs that aren't really as fresh as they used to be. They have very stale ideas. They aren't executed well. So I think there's kind of a drought of new content. So I think even things with like Undertale or Digital Circus where they have like non-binaries or whatever, it's like okay, with so little going around, I feel like it's like a desperation that some right-leaning people might tolerate, and they're like, this is kind of interesting. And I do think Undertale does have some interesting ideas, but I am fully aware that Toby Fox is like a mega leftist and promoting ideas I don't agree with. But I can still find things to appreciate. Like I can still appreciate the effort he puts into it. I can still appreciate things like the music. Like I can still say, okay, well, he's talented in music, which is another thing. I don't like when uh I don't like when leftists find out someone is right wing, or and they'll just instantly act like all his work is bad. Like, oh, well, your art sucks. Your art and whatever you do is super bad. Your game is super bad because you're right wing. And I just feel like that kind of sucks because I feel like again you're needlessly causing animosity. You're needlessly antagonizing people, right? And I don't think that helps your cause. I don't think it helps either of our causes to try to have enemies, Like like I believe in God, right? And it's like I know most of the people I interact with don't believe in God, but that doesn't mean I'm like, oh, I should kill them. They don't believe in God. I should kill them. It's but leftists, they do act like that, They're like, oh well, he doesn't believe in trans rights. That means he should die. That means he should die like Charlie Kirk. And it just I don't get the thought process behind it. Maybe there's something I'm just missing, but I just feel like in general there's so many opportunities we have that we've been missing to make friends and to or at least tone down the hostility of things going on because there is a lot of hostility and I don't like it. Splits apart families and things like that. And I just feel like, just trying to understand other people is something we're missing out on. Or, even trying to understand why people we don't like might like the things we like, even if it seems weird to us. And, yeah, that's about it. I know I didn't say much, but, I've just been kind of rambling here without a script. Just got better from being sick. Hopefully I can start uploading more stuff soon. Anyway, Uh, just tell me what you guys think of whatever I said in the comments. Goodbye.